It's starting to look a lot like Christmas. And welcome back to part 4. We're doing Frozen Factory and it kinda really sucks, cause it's my least favorite world. And for those wondering, this is in February at the time of this recording. It's just I finally took down the Christmas tree today. You know, usually I do it in January, but I was feeling especially lazy this year. But anyways, Frozen Factory. Yeah, as I said before, this is where the level design starts to get a bit meh-ish, you know? It's not that fun compared to the rest of the worlds we'll be doing. But, you know, that's just my personal opinion. The first biggest change is that I highly recommend that you walk, not run, when it comes to the ice in this world. Because as you noticed, Sonic will, if you hold down the run button, Sonic will do a skating animation rather than his normal running animation. And when he's skating, you have very limited control in terms of how Sonic moves on the ice. And since Sonic is such a show off, every time you jump, he does this little like ballerina twirl that you're very limited in terms of how much you can control that jump. So I always recommend walking, unless you feel like a badass, or if you're doing a speed run. But always walk, not run, when it comes to the ice sections. Anyways, something positive I can say about this world: I love the music, for the majority of it anyways. You know, I guess the real reason I'm not too fond of this world is because it's home to two of the deadliest red rings to get in the whole freaking game. I mean, these two red rings, they pretty much took... These two are the hardest, without a doubt. And if you can get these red rings, you can get any of the other ones in the game. But, you know, it's gonna suck. And one of them, the next level in particular, oh, that's gonna be really fun. Everyone who's played this game knows what I'm talking about right now. But anyways, oh my gosh, fire Orbinauts on clouds. How does that work? I don't know. I believe this is also the last cloud jumping section in the game. Thank goodness, because at this point in the game it's starting to get a bit repetitive. Oh, I don't think I've ever talked about the gold cannons. Basically what these do is that they transport you to a separate planet where you're constantly running, similar to Desert Ruins Act 2, where you're just constantly moving forward, collecting rings and avoiding traps. You can move left and right and jump. That's pretty much what it is. I think it was just Sonic Team's attempt of making you feel like you were going fast in between these planets. You know, to get your, like, speed fix, basically. Stupid tree. But basically, if you haven't noticed already, this level in particular is pretty much Windy Hill Zone Act 1 on ice. Like, that I kind of don't like that, because it's pretty much just reusing the same level trope, just adding pretty much ice on it. But, you know. Well, I don't think I talked... Oh, yeah, pro tip, guys, you can't spin dash on the ice. That's another sucky thing about it, but gotta deal with them ice physics. But another thing, I don't think I've ever talked about the laser Wisp. It's also a returning Wisp from Colors, and just a sec. You know, but some people hate the parkour system, but it's really useful for things like that. If this was any other Sonic game, I would have to fall down and get back up there, but you know, at least I didn't have to do that. Anyways, the laser Wisp, it's another returning Wisp color power-up from Sonic Colors. It's my second favorite Wisp in the game, because it pretty much complements Sonic's speed. Basically what it does is that you can, when you activate the Wisp, you can point it anywhere, and once you let go of the button, or you press it, you can pretty much dart off in that direction, and if you hit any walls, you kind of bounce back off of them like it was like sound waves or something. It's pretty cool. But yeah, that's Frozen Factory Act 1. It's an alright level. Like, it's nothing compared to the levels we're going to be facing, but... it just, I feel like it needed more of a level design boot up. You know, something a little bit more original. That's just me. Oh, I'm not a big fan of this next cutscene. Mainly it's because of Tails' like, random hormone changes. This was what I was talking about in the past part when I said the character personality traits were a bit random and out of nowhere. Like, Tails is just gonna jump onto Eggman for no freaking reason. That's completely unlike him. Okay, yeah, that's okay. But look at this. Jerry! 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 Like, what is that? Tails would never, like, want to start a fight like that. That's completely out of his character. You know, Sonic, okay, but Tails? I personally, like, back when I was a kid, okay, let me just explain. Tails used to be one of my favorite characters just because I can relate to him the most. You know, he was shy, he lacked a lot of self-confidence. And at the time, when I was younger, I could relate to that because that was my kind of personality traits as well. And I understand what they're trying to do with Tails now. They're trying to make him more, you know, grown up and like less relying on Sonic all the time. You know, and I'm okay with sarcastic remarks and, you know, a little bit of attitude, but to the point where he wants to start a fight, that's just completely unlike Tails. Thankfully, that's the only time in the game where Tails, like, has a sudden character shift. Like, calm the hell down. Huh. Speaking of character shift, here's the newest Zeddy we'll be facing. This is Zeena, and she's pretty much the fabulous Zeddy of the six. She really reminds me of Ashley Tisdale, particularly her role from High School Musical as Sharpay. Maybe because I was watching it recently, but don't judge me, you know, I was just... Like, you know that feeling when you watch something on TV from your past and you know it's crap, but you watch it anyways for the lulz? That's basically why I watched it again, okay? This was like the twilight of our generation, okay? I had to grow up with this crap. And I like that character integration with Zeena and Zavik. That was actually pretty funny. Oh, no. No! Oh my gosh. What can I say about this level? What can I say that hasn't already been said by every, like, Let's Player, reviewer, or just person that played this game in general? Basically, the gimmick, if you haven't seen already, is that you have to roll Sonic through this stage in a snowball. First of all, I don't know why Sonic decides to roll himself into a snowball, but... Anyways, yeah. That's the whole point of this level. Sonic just decides to get into this snowball and roll down this freaking level in it. But my question is why? Who thought this would be a good idea, Azuka? And if it was, you gotta force him to play like freaking Sonic Labyrinth 20 times because he loves the Game Gear games. And you know what the crazy thing is? This level actually had potential to be good. No, I'm not high. For those who don't know, Sega makes other game series. Oh, you know, what a shock, other than just Sonic. But one of their main bigger ones is Super Monkey Ball. Now, if you haven't played those games, guys, those games are a hell of fun. And of course, the concept of those games as well is that you're rolling monkeys in these big balls. And I know that sounds wrong, but it's actually pretty fast-paced and it's really fun because if you wanted to play that game really quickly, you can. You don't have to just wait around for stuff to happen. Granted, there's some strategy to it, but it's still super, super fun. And you know, and just something else on the top of my head, another game that does this way better, a platforming game, is Crash Twinsanity. For anyone who's played that game, one of my favorite and iconic sections in that game is when Crash and Cortex are in this fight, and they're rolling downhill in this snow avalanche kind of level. And basically they roll into this big snowball and you're going so fast down the hill while crushing everything in your path. It's so much more fun than something like this. And you know, that game came out in what, like 2004? Like almost a decade later, and this is the best Sonic Team can come up with. That, and they also worked on Super Monkey Ball. Well, I'm not sure about Sonic Team, but you know, I think Sega could have given them like a little bit more pointers. I gotta concentrate for this section, because if I mess it up, I'm screwed. You have to get all these billiard balls into the holes without messing up. Oh my gosh, come on, come on. Yes! Oh, you don't even know how hard that section is. Because if you mess it up, unless you have really fast reflexes by the time you get to that checkpoint, you have to pretty much start that section all over again. So thank God, because I didn't want to have to play this level a second time. And while you're rolling in this ball, of course, Zeena's trying to hit on you. Dirty, dirty, dirty girl, girl, have a feeling like you're letting go. Even though she pretty much is. I know the fan base is. For those who don't know, the Sonic fan base at times can produce very interesting drawings of female characters. I was just looking through Sonic Forum one time, and someone had a very, let's just say, interesting picture of Zeena. You know, you just don't look up female Sonic characters on the internet. It's like the equivalent of looking up Blue Waffle on Google Images. You just don't do it, folks. Anyways, here's the first boss fight with Zeena. You know what? The concept of this boss fight is also pretty fun, because you get to somewhat crush Zeena in a big snowball. But here's the problem. As far as I'm concerned, you can't even get hit in this boss battle. Basically, what you have to do is you have to crush all these white snowmen, and you can't hit the ones with the bombs in it, or else she resets them all. But the thing is, even if you hit the bomb snowman, you don't lose any rings. So how do you even die in this level? You know, I don't know if Sonic Team just felt bad that you had to go through this level, so they're like, we'll give him a freebie, but you just can't die. Something I forgot to mention before is that you can actually spin dash in the snowball form, but good luck trying to control that bad boy when it comes to actual platforming sections. Because God knows you'll need help. Alright, let's just finish her off. No! Come back, Zeena! I promise you I'm not like Zaz! No, come back! Stop! There, thank you.
Gotta go. Call me.
Sure, Zeena, I'll call you. Is your number still 911? Oh, alrighty then. Cookies to anyone who actually gets that reference. Thank God, we're finally done, in my opinion, the worst level in the game. At least the main, like, story level in the game. Oh, I actually really love this cutscene.
That was cool.
Boom.
Pun entirely intended.
Look at Tails' face. He was like so disgusted with that joke. He was like, Sonic, are you kidding me with that crap? And somehow the Deadly Six are communicating with Sonic through a big ice television. Oh, look at that! It's another body language humor. Just Eggman sitting on freaking Cubot's head. Poor guy. You know, like as I said before, body language. It's just as effective as just saying random lines. Speaking of lines, Eggman goes all out in this freaking cutscene, as you'll see. Like, seriously.
Yeah, I've noticed.
Really, Sonic? Because I haven't noticed any jump in difficulty, if anything. Well, you know, we can always chill on the Lost Hex. I heard Tropical Coast is always sunny at this time of year.
I will burn your world.
Like, look at this. I'm not even gonna say anything.
Destroy everything you love and make you rot.
Dang! Eggman's not screwing around this time, buddies.
As long as I can still strangle a Zeti, my hands are fine.
AKA the reason why this game is rated E10 and E10+. Like, I gotta hand it to Mike Pollock. He's always done a good job with Eggman. You know, there's a reason why he's still voicing him in the games. I'm glad they finally the scriptwriters finally gave him something really dark to work with, because I've always been craving that kind of Eggman. I mean, I love the goofy side of him as well, but you know, sometimes we just need that dark and sinister side of him. That was just fantastic. Props out to Mike Pollock. He deserves like a freaking Oscar for that. For voice acting anyways. And now we're out of the snow and into the casino. Like I was talking about before in part 3, I said there was only one other level in the game that could possibly take the award for best looking level in the game. This would probably be the other one. Of course, as everyone's iconic favorite casino stages make a return in this game. Still not as fun as Casinoopolis or Bingo Highway from Heroes in my opinion, but it gets the job done. Whoa, I just kind of breezed through that really fast. Usually I tend to just take a long time with that section, but hey, why not? Anyways, that was the only mandatory pinball section to do in the game if you just want to blaze through this level. But unfortunately, to get one of the red rings, we're going to have to get to the top of the pinball table. And, dang it, why can't I get up here? And am I going through this bumper? Okay, let's do it again. Okay, there. You got it. But yeah, as I was saying before, and this, in my opinion, will be the hardest red ring to get in the game. I hope I don't take too much time on it, guys, but considering my pinball skills, that might take a while. But yeah, when I first tried to get this ring, it took me, I'm not gonna even lie, it took me about 10 minutes to do. It's that hard. At least for me it was, because my strategy when it comes to playing pinball usually is just to tap the bumpers randomly. But no, I'm not gonna do that this time. gonna try to time it. So you want to hold it like this. Okay, you just want to make sure Sonic goes flying right at the end, at the tip of the bumpers. Oh my gosh, but, you know, so many bumpers and this thing's trying to block you in the path. Those little red blocks, for example, are boundaries that are trying to block you from getting up. Dang it! Got Eggman. Who cares? It's not. We're not going for a million rings. Freaking bar. No one gets anything off of that. But yeah, we're gonna be here for a while, guys. I'm sorry. You know, if I was good at pinball, this would go by really quickly, but, you know, God forbid when I finally do Sonic Spinball, that game's gonna be a hard one for me. It's one of those Sonic games I'm not actually that good at. Dang it, just get up here. I don't want any more rings. Yes! Yep, we got it, guys. Oh, that actually took way, way faster than I thought it was gonna take. It usually takes me longer. That was like the quickest time I ever did it. Thank God. That was the hardest red ring in the game right there, guys. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Everything else is pretty much just straightforward in a separate location. Like these bells right here. But yeah, I love the graphics in this level. Also the music. Still, it's not as good as Casinopolis, but, you know, it's hard to beat that one. Sonic 2 introduced a lot of cool aspects in the series. And I'm gonna do that again. Just got a wall jump. There you go. Got it. And these, and of course, you wouldn't be complete without your Poco chips, your casino chips. I don't remember what you get for filling the whole circle full of those things. But you do, I think... No, I don't remember if you get a life. But maybe you do. But yeah, that's it for this level. Definitely a nice, relaxing pace compared to the last two levels. Especially the second one. I wish it was a bit harder, though. That was kind of a cakewalk, other than the fact we had to do that pinball section again. Alright, so we're coming on to the last level in this world. And it's, once again, it's a bit meh-ish. Like I mentioned in the last part, we're not going to do another circus, because we already saw all of them in the game at this point. Oh, Sonic Cam! I'm gonna puke! Really, Sonic? Snow Cone is the best insult you could have came up with? I got like 99 other insults in my head, and a snow cone ain't one.
Are you serious? I am so sorry.
Oh, I love this by Sonic. He's such a troller. This is the classic Sonic attitude I missed.
So sorry that you have nothing more important to do in life.
He's got an attitude, Sonic. He's the biggest asshole alive. Alright, Zeena, but the moment you start twerking, somebody gonna get hurt. Okay, so let's just blaze through this next level. Because I'm not a really big fan of it. Well, let's not go that quickly. Freaking wall of Orbinauts right here. What a beautiful way to start out a level. Anyways, I think this is the first 2D section in this world. Yeah, but anyways, now we have to worry about ice skating in 2D. It's actually not as bad because you don't have to worry about, you know, less control. It's just a simple 2D plane. But yeah, more twirls. Oh man, those things from Sonic 1, from Scrap Brain Zone. The piglets. Forgot what they're called. I know some older Sonic fan probably remembers it. Oh yes, and also the Robotic Penguins, first introduced in Sonic 3, and an Ice Cap, the same kind of level theme. But yeah, and whoa. I give that a 10 out of 10. Nice moves, Sonic. But anyways, yeah, as I said before, the game does a lot of old school Badnik references, and also a bit of the new ones. Like in this level, for example, we just passed by it, but we'll see it again. We'll see him again. It's, I don't know the specific name that they call the enemy, but I call it the jackpot robot. It either shoots down spike balls at you or a bunch of rings, depending if it feels like it's gonna be a troll or not. But yeah, that guy was first introduced in Colors, if I remember correctly. Anyways, now we're gonna have to do some ground pounding, or the bounce move. The bounce move makes a return in this game. I actually forgot to mention that. It's been in the adventure games ever since Sonic Adventure 2, I believe. And now we gotta use it to get past these ice blocks. The only way to get past these, if I remember correctly, is just to spin dash or jump into them. Okay, no. You have to spin dash or you have to do the bounce attack in order to get it. Yay, 1 up. Yeah, I love all the secrets though in this level. Gotta just make sure you time it and you'll be alright. Speaking of timing, we have to time this really well as well. If you want to completely bypass this red ring, you can actually climb on the top of that ceiling, for example. So I can just hang on to the edges of something, like if it was like Crash Bandicoot or Mario anyways. Now we got some Temple of Doom balls coming at us on ice. But yeah, yeah, you can go fast, I guess. I don't recommend, if you're just about to jump off the edge of a platform, I don't recommend to go this fast unless you know what you're doing. But I tend to memorize this level design. See, I didn't want to risk jumping off the edge of that stage. But yes, I believe now, yep, here's one of the old school references again. We got Metropolis Zone in the hizzy, even though, oh dang, it messed up. Even though it's kind of been brought back with recent games like Sonic 4. Once it's not too much of a retro tribute if you keep doing it all the time. It kind of becomes mainstream, but yeah. Anyways, as I said before, the jackpot robot's now throwing us rings randomly. He decides to be nice whenever he can. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I think it's actually a scripted sequence. I don't think it's like a luck-based kind of thing. But anyways, to get faster on these gears, just like in Sonic 2, you just want to spin dash. Make sure you're in the middle of it or else you'll go flying off it, which would really suck. Automatic death. Okay, I believe this is the final section before the boss. Let's just speed on right through. Whoa! When was the last time we saw a loop-de-loop? It was like in one of the first stages, like in Windy Hill Zone. You know, that's what Lost World lacks a lot of, you know? Just loop-de-loops in general. You know, don't quote me if I'm wrong on this, but I think there's no 3D loop-de-loops in this whole game, only in 2D like now. Like, I don't even... No, I don't think there is. Wow. This game needs more loop-de-loops. Rant. Anyways, here's the final boss of Zeena. At this point, guys, what do you think is it gonna be pretty hard? Is it gonna be easy? I'll let you guys be the judge of that. Screw that red ring. I mean, 10 ring. Ain't nobody got time for that. Nobody wanna see us together, but it don't matter, no, 'cause I killed you. Well, actually, it won't be the last time we face Zeena. Along with the other Deadly Six members, we still have to face them one more time in the game. But that will be for a way later part. Anyways, yeah, we're pretty much done with Frozen Factory now. Oh, just one more cutscene and we'll finish right here. Eggman's probably like, Sonic, you asshole. Why'd you have to destroy all my robots? How does Eggman even afford to pay for all these things? All this collateral damage in each and every game. How does he make these freaking new inventions each and every time? Oh, this is also one of my favorite cutscenes just because of a simple one line that Eggman says. Like, seriously, I know I'm over-exaggerating a bit, but like, Eggman's the reason why this game is pretty much funny in terms of the cutscenes. For the majority, anyways. I mean, Sonic and a few of the Zeddy have a few good one-liners, but Eggman's just the star of the show. No Tails! See, this just proves Eggman has a heart. He's not a cruel person like everyone thinks he is. He just wants to take over the world. You know, we have to obey him, follow his laws, but, you know. Oh boy, man. Eggman's just crushing Tails of all that weight. This is one of my favorite lines. I'm going to shut up just for a second.
Genocide, and the next you're saving one of your worst enemies.
I'm a complicated guy.
There's no better line from Eggman in any other Sonic game that represents Eggman more. I'm a complicated freaking guy, Sonic. Get off my grill. You don't know my life. Don't judge me. But I love that. You know, this game, like Eggman, just rules it. But anyways, guys, we're pretty much done here with Frozen Factory. As I said before, it wasn't my favorite. It was my least favorite world in the game. But there won't be as much negative talk, I assure you, in the further parts. But yes, we got the fourth Chaos Emerald now. We're actually, I guess you can say, halfway through the main story in terms of completion. Granted, there's still a lot more to do once we complete the story, but yeah. In next parts, we'll be taking on Silent Forest, which is one of my personal favorite worlds, along with taking one of my favorite Zeddy in the game. Do not miss out, people, because he is awesome. Like, for reals. Anyways, take care guys, and see you in part 5. Sorry for the